We all face moments when we just can't let go. Maybe it's a mistake from the past, a dream that didn't happen, or a hurt someone caused us. We hold on so tightly that the pain becomes heavier and heavier. But sometimes letting go is not a loss, it's freedom. And sometimes what we think is the end is actually the beginning of something better. If you've ever struggled to move on, this story is for you. Listen carefully because it may change how you see your own life. Once in a quiet town surrounded by mountains, there lived a farmer named Mr. Samuel. He was known for his kindness, though life had never been easy for him. Mr. Samuel had one son, David. The boy was strong and hardworking, but often impatient. Unlike his father, David hated waiting for things to change. Together, they owned a small piece of land with a few cows. Among them was a beautiful brown cow named Bella. Bella gave more milk than all the others, and for Samuel and David, she was a great blessing. One day, a wealthy merchant from the city visited the town. When he saw Bella, he was amazed. "This cow is worth a fortune," the merchant said. "Sell her to me, and I'll give you more money than you've ever seen." David's eyes lit up. He whispered to his father, "We must take this offer. With this money, we could buy more land, more cows, maybe even a better house." But Mr. Samuel only smiled. "Thank you for your offer," he told the merchant, "but Bella is part of our family. She is not for sale." The merchant shook his head and left. When the villagers heard this, they mocked Samuel. "He's a fool," they said. "He let the biggest chance of his life slip away." David was angry. "Father, why didn't you listen?" "You ruined everything," Samuel calmly replied. "Son, not everything that looks good is truly good. Time will tell." But just a few weeks later, tragedy struck. Bella, their most precious cow, fell sick. Within days, she died. David was heartbroken. The villagers mocked even louder now. "See? Samuel didn't sell the cow, and now he has nothing. How unlucky he is." David shouted, "Father, now do you see? If we had sold Bella, we would be rich. Instead, we are left with nothing. This is truly bad." But Samuel remained calm. He placed a hand on his son's shoulder and said, "Good or bad, who can tell? Only time can show us the truth." David didn't understand. He thought his father was only hiding his sadness. A few days later, something unexpected happened. Bella had left behind a young calf. Everyone thought the calf would be weak and useless without its mother. But to their surprise, the calf grew strong and healthy. By the next year, the calf had grown into a powerful bull, able to plow their fields faster than ever. Their land produced more crops than before, and they started earning more money. The villagers were amazed. "Samuel is so lucky," they said. His dead cow left behind a bull that made him richer than ever. But Samuel still stayed calm. No pride, no boasting. David asked, "Father, why don't you celebrate?" "Now we are truly lucky," Samuel replied. "My son, even in happiness, remain humble. What looks good today might turn into sorrow tomorrow. Everything changes with time." One season later, while David was working with the bull, something terrible happened. The bull became frightened and threw him to the ground. His leg broke badly. The villagers shook their heads. "Poor Samuel," they said. "First he lost his cow, now his son is crippled. Misfortune follows him everywhere." In pain, David cried, "Father, surely this is bad. How can a broken leg be anything but bad?" But Samuel gently said, "Do not judge too quickly, son. Good or bad, only time will tell." David grew silent. He still could not accept his father's calmness. Just a few weeks later, the king's army came to the town. A war had started in the land, and every young man was taken to fight. Mothers wept as their sons were marched away. But because of his broken leg, David was left behind. Months later, the war ended. Many young men never returned. The town was filled with sorrow. Parents cried for the sons they lost. The villagers looked at Samuel with tears in their eyes. "You are the lucky one," they said. "Your son was spared while ours are gone." David finally understood. Through his pain, he had been protected. What seemed bad at first had saved his life. That night, David said to his father, "Now I see the truth. Losing Bella felt like a curse, but it gave us the bull. My broken leg felt like a punishment, but it saved me from death. Truly, time reveals everything. Samuel smiled softly and said, "Yes, my son. That is why we must never be too proud in joy or too broken in sorrow. Both will pass because everything is part of time. Trust in God's plan even when you cannot understand it. The lesson is that life is full of moments that seem unfair. We may call something good or bad, but in truth, we don't know the full story yet. What feels like a loss today may turn into a blessing tomorrow. What feels like pain now may be protecting you from something worse. So don't hold on to anger and don't get carried away with pride. Be patient, be thankful, and remember everything happens for a reason, even if we cannot see it right now. If you like this story, don't forget to leave a like. Share in the comments what lesson you learned, and we'll see you again with another inspiring story. Take care.